Hey guys, Invi here and welcome back to another video. Today we've got some new player tips for you that cover both roles in VHS. Now the video does assume that you have a basic understanding of what the mechanics of the game are. So that includes stigmas, crafting tables, and the basic set out of the game. If you're unsure of any of that, I do have a video linked below from Trickster Shadow who covers this in great detail. So massive shout out to him for covering this for people new to the genre. Also on the way very shortly, I do have some tips videos specific to Monster and Teen, which will go into a little bit more detail. As always, if you do enjoy the video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And I do live stream over on Twitch, currently going for 100 days in a row, so streaming 7 days a week. But that's enough for me, and let's get on to the video. So for tip number 1, there is no set power roll on VHS. In other asymmetrical games such as Evil Dead and Dead by Daylight, the monster or killer is the big bad of the game. But in VHS, there's constant tug of war. At certain points of the game, the teens will be more powerful than the monster, and the monster will be more powerful than the teens the longer the game goes on. This helps to bring a new fresh approach to the asymmetrical genre, and it needs to be approached differently to other games like it out there, specifically Dead by Daylight. Because of this constant back and forth, you always do need to be paying attention, and you always need to be creating pressure regardless of which side you're on. This helps bring in some interesting dynamic to the game, and it helps to give you that sense of, yes, that was a hard-fought victory, or no, I lost because I made mistakes. Tip number 2, map layouts will remain the same. So unlike Dead by Daylight, for example, there is no procedural generation. So if you go to the high school map, the layout will remain the same as the last time that you were on there. The self-care medkit locations will remain the same for each map, and crafting stations remain in the same general area. Vending machines will also be in the same area each time, however they will not always be active. But learning the layouts of the map and how to escape the monster and cut teens off will help you massively. There are also set spawn locations for items such as the Book of the Dead, so learning them will help you as well. One of the things that I found helped me with VHS was just learning the map layouts. Once you learn them and you know where you're going, you know how to be more efficient, you know how to craft a weapon quicker, you know how to escape and hide easier. It's just something that will come with time, but learning the map layouts is very important. Tip number 3. Sound is extremely important in VHS. The monster can hear everything that the teens do within the tension track, also known as the terror radius. So being able to utilize this on both the monster and teen side is imperative. Being able to escape the monster using stealth, and being able to locate teens from things such as their footsteps, when they run, when they breathe, when they vault, that kind of thing. And because there's very little visual aids, there's no scratch marks or anything like that. The only visual aid you get is a chromatic aberration, which is essentially blood for when a teen is injured. It does make sound extremely imperative, and learning how to utilize it to your advantage to succeed. Tip number 4. Be sure to check out the training modes for both Monster and Teen, including the tutorials, and while they're not overly extensive, they will give you a good idea of what to do on each side. The training for Monster will allow you to pick all of the available monsters and test out their abilities in a safe setting, so you're not going into a live game thinking, okay, what does this ability do, etc. It gives you a chance to try everything out in a sandbox environment. And for Teen, you get to test out the mechanics of each weapon for each stigma type. You get to test out the crafting tables, and you also get to test out all the pickup items to see what they do. You will also get the chance to test out the healing minigames, the vending machine minigames, to see how they work, because everything in this game is not a skill check. So yeah, checking out the training modes is something I would definitely recommend everybody does. I still do this from time to time if I just want to practice the ray gun or the slingshot, for example, just to make sure I can get the spacing right, and it's an invaluable tool. Tip number 5, the rift. So the rift is a mechanic that essentially spawns a capture point within the map, somewhere random, when nothing has happened in game for a while, when a teen hasn't been injured or the monster hasn't lost the stigma. What this does is this helps to alleviate any stalemates in the game. And I think a lot of Dead by Daylight players can relate with me when there's been that one time when there's this one immersed player that you just cannot locate. This mechanic helps to alleviate that. So as mentioned, the rift is a capture point on the map that spawns when there is nothing going on. Essentially, whichever side captures the rift will have the other side's auras available, so if the monster was to capture the rift, they would then be able to see the aura of all teens on the map, and vice versa. If that stalemate was to continue, after the first rift, a second rift would spawn, which is known as a super rift. And essentially what would happen there, if the teens capture the super rift, they would deal a random stigma wound to the monster. And if the monster captures the super rift, they would then become enraged and gain the vision of teen auras for a longer duration than a normal rift. So regardless of which side you're playing, it is imperative that you keep track of when rifts spawn, and you pressure them as appropriate. And that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you found some use in the tips provided. Is there any tips that you guys would give to newer players? Did you find the video helpful? Was there anything that you didn't find helpful? If there are any additional tips that you would like new players to learn, please leave a comment below and I can look to add it into a future video. I do have videos coming up soon for Monster and Teen, which will go into a little bit more depth, but are designed for newer players. So do keep an eye out for them. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and notification so you do get notified of when they go live. But for now, that's it from me. So thank you very, very much for watching. I do appreciate you. And as always, have a good evening.
So much shit can happen, yo, it got me tripping now. Yeah, it's feeling different now.